Greetings. Most importantly, blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road.
Yo. It is 7 p.m. on a good old Sunday. I'm talking about a good old Sunday now. Not no ordinary Sunday. Not no rainy and dreary Sunday. Not no I've been in the bed now I want to get. I'm talking about a good old Sunday. I'm talking about one of the ones where you done been in church all day and been fully filled. Yeah. When all the good words been hitting you. But this ain't just a normal Sunday. This is Engaged Culture Sunday. That's right. I attend Forward City. Pastors Travis Green, Jackie, Jamal, Jim, Tim, the squad. You feel me? Forward City. I'm a Forward citizen. And so every year around this here time, we do what we call Engage Culture, where we engage with the culture, where we make a shift, where we do things to invite God in all week long. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful week. Beautiful week. Before we get too deep into that, I want to say welcome. Welcome to you and you and you. This is 82 & 0 Live. Faith, life, and the process. This is my act of obedience. This is my favorite time of the week. This is my thing. It's what God has put on me to do, so I shall continue to do it until He tells me do something different. And He got to tell me to stop doing this and do something different. Because with that being said, He got me doing some different stuff too. We're gonna get into that too fully. You see, I got my engaging culture bracelets on. Got to have one of them. You ain't been in the building. I have to take care of them. Yeah. So again, welcome, man. Normally, we would have a guest, but God is working a move where that ain't happening today, and it's fine. Had a guest, but it had some unforeseen things that pop up, and so we just made a shift. And I'm gonna fight back the emotion, right? For whatever reason, it just almost hit me, but it's so good, and I believe that that's just how beautiful this whole thing is. Y'all got to bear with me because this may be good. I did not fully plan for this. We gonna flow with this, and I promise you, if God say flow, I'm flowing. But it's a shift, and that's what the whole engaged culture this week has been about. It's a shift. Michael Tide was there today. I want to get into that later, but he said that the shift could come like that, as quick as a snap. That's how quick the shift could come. And today it came just like that. What I thought was going to happen, what I planned to happen, it shifted just like that. And so that's it. It's the shift. We have to be ready for the shift because it happens just like that. We have to be prepared for the shift because it happens just like that. And you never know. But if you got your ducks in order, you got your heart in order, you got your mind in order, you got your worship in order, then you ain't really worry about that shift. And that's just the beauty of it. Before we get too much into that, though, I want to start in the beginning. We do a Wednesday, 6 hours of prayer from 6 to 12. It's a whole lot of worshiping, a whole lot of praying. Different guests come on, they give a word, they pray some more, people get prayed over. It's beautiful. I wasn't able to stay until the end of the night. I stayed pretty late, but I had my son with me. And we had some things we had to do Saturday morning. So I stayed till maybe about 10, 11. But the building was full of a good energy. when I got in the sanctuary, Jamal Hedgewood was on the stage. My guy Jamal, I got a lot of love and respect for Jamal. Hopefully we can get him on here real soon. So y'all tag him in the comments. Y'all share this video to him. Y'all send him a text if you got it. Hit him on Instagram, Facebook, and say, "Hey, we waiting on you to get on 82 and 0 Live. Get your rest and get on here because I think that's going to be a really, really, really dope conversation. I think he's a real dope individual." But anyways, he was on stage and he was preaching about shifting. And he made a lot of good points that I thought really, really stood out to me. But one of the points that he made, he was saying that when he was first driving, that he learned how to drive an automatic. And so he was used to the shift just happening, the gear shifting to the next gear. He said he was doing a valet job or something. The guy had a real nice car. I think it was like a Mustang or something. He went to hop in to move the car, and he couldn't move the car because he didn't know how to manually shift. And he was basically telling us, like, at some point in time, when the shift comes, we have to be prepared to make that shift. Like, we can't just think that God is always going to just shift it for us. Sometimes we have to make that shift. We have to put that gear, we have to hit the clutch and put it in the next gear and get going. And that really is the truth. Like in life, like sometimes God gives us an assignment and say, "Hey, go do it." But he's not going to make our legs move. He's not going to like just teleport us from point A to point B. We got to get up and we got to shift. We really, really got to shift and make it happen, get in that gear and know how to apply the clutch at the right time and the gas at the right time so we don't. And so I thought that was a real beautiful thing, the way how he did it, man. But it was real good. It was real good. All of the sermons also, too, I'm going to try to drop them in the comments, but they're all on YouTube, on Forward City's page on YouTube, man. But it's a real good session. Jamal did real good with it. And then, you know, the Forward City Music, they did that thing. My girl mine was out there. I love to see her out there on stage doing the thing. She really, when she sing, it really moved my soul. I just really feel like God has really, really gifted her with a voice for impact, for change. Like I've seen her sing, and in my opinion, her singing push people to even get baptized in the moment. Like baptism pools about to get put up, and she get on there and she just get to singing in a way that people like, nah, I'm ready to give my life to God right now. So shout out to her. But yeah, Wednesday night was real good, man. One of the things for me is I'm often in the lobby, probably as much as I'm in the sanctuary. I find a lot of good fellowshipping in the lobby. There's a lot of people who attend the church, who serve, and so they may watch from a TV, one of the projectors, one of the big screens in the lobby or something, just so they can be accessible to people who might need them. And so it's a lot of good conversations out there. You may come out the sanctuary to go to the restroom and see somebody praying over somebody or people praying over people. So it's a lot of that. It was a lot of that in the lobby, a lot of good fellowship and a lot of good conversations. And I really just loved it, man. Just a shout out a few people that I saw that I was fellowshipping with. My boy Ron. Ron is always out there. Ron is a good dude. He always in his book. He always in the lobby. He always willing to pray for you. Real good hearted dude. I got a lot of respect for Ron. Mitch, my guy Manny was in there. Shout out to James and Chris from the parking. They always moving around when they're not in the parking lot. Let's stop for a second. If you're not at Forward City, you may not, this may not, but we gotta give respect for the parking team, man. It was hot. It was raining. I'm talking about raining cats and dogs. Shout out to Kiel. Shout out to James. All of them. They was out there. They put on the ponchos and they were standing outside in the rain, ushering people in the building, making sure people was getting back and forth, making sure they was parking where they was supposed to be parking. They got the bus going around all the time. Like big shout out to them. I have to give them that respect because like literally you see them, you hug them in the lobby and their backs might be wet from being outside sweating, man. But they come in smiling, laughing, like the whole team has good energy. You never, ever see them with bad energy. So major shout out to them. I had to give them that plug because it was important. But yeah, the lobby was full, man. The building was full of the spirit. When you walked in, you could feel it. I really felt like all week it was a real good energy. Whatever I might have been dealing with, I couldn't deal with it when I walked in the building. Whatever thoughts, if it wasn't God ordained, I couldn't really think it because it was so much good going on. And that's one of the beautiful things, like real beautiful things about engaged cultures. It taps into a space. Like you see people come in and they really want to serve. They really want to be in the mix. They smile and they laugh and they're tired though because it's like it's a lot going on. It's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of late nights, early mornings, and internally they are tired, but they don't tap into it. And if they do try to like, if they I ain't gonna say try, but if they do start sliding to the side of being tired, you see somebody come and lift them up or tell them to take a break. I got you. It really is that type of vibe for engaged culture. So Wednesday was like that from 6 to 12, like all night, back and forth, people moving around, singing, dancing, a lot of good praise and a lot of throwing the hands up for God, man. I really did love that. Yeah, so my bad. I had the comments off. Jessica, yeah, say he really is a great teacher. Um, my dog Makai said, "Let's go Parker." Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is a week of if you haven't been able to catch Engaged Culture, be there next week. Excuse me, next month. Watching it online, I'll give you a good message. But being in the building is completely different. If I have a chance, I'll shoot some footage on here so y'all can see what I was able to catch and some of the interactions I saw. Um, but it was beautiful, man. It really was beautiful. Period Wednesday, Thursday, I came in. I think a little later in the day. I had an event I had to do Thursday. What was that Wednesday? Either way, Ty Tribbett. Ty was in there. And Ty was going in, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ty was going in. I think I may have it to where I can pull it up. I'm gonna see if I can. But Ty had a message, man. His energy, period. If you've never been in the building with Ty Tribbett, it's different. I feel like he is one of those true like warriors. Um, Praying, singing, spiritual, like I like him because I feel like he walks in truth. He walks in the truth of the Bible as much as he can. He really tries to bring his real perspective. I'm not gonna say he doesn't sugarcoat it, but I don't think he does sugarcoat it. If that makes sense. Like he's not trying to give it to you real raw and being controversial, but I feel like he says what needs to be said and what should be said in that moment and about that scripture, about that thing. So I really like it. Like even outside the building, the things I catch with him online, I like the space that he speaks from. I'm gonna see if I can, while we're talking, see if I can bring it up. Um, but he really has some good stuff to say. I'm gonna see if we can do this.
Stay in the house. Engaged culture, I came here to tell you tonight, it's getting dark outside. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can sense it. I don't know if you can see it, but engaged culture is getting dark outside. And God is opening the doors of heaven and saying, come in the house. Get in the house. Come to the safe place. This ain't the time to be outside. This is the time to dwell in the secret place of the Most High God.
If you got hit, even if you were
Yeah, man, his energy out of this world, man. But he was preaching about how God had him put the blood on the doors, so that when the demon, the spirit of death was coming through and taking him, they know which doors not to go. And he was saying like stay in the house. And I thought that was real deep and dope, like because right now, like we do need to stay in the house of prayer, the house of God. Maybe not our actual homes, but we need to stay in that space. If we're looking outside, it's going crazy out there right now. The school shootings and violence is always something that bothers me, but it seems to be getting worse and worse. You have what you have going on in Indiana with them having no power and different things. Just everything that's going on in the political space, with the war, with all the food recalls, with all of this, it means that we should be staying in the house. We should be staying like in prayer in our Bible and knowing what's going on. But one of the things I wanted to play before they threw that commercial in was right after that. He says, like he basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says like all this chaos and stuff that's in the world, we shouldn't be stressing about it. We shouldn't be worried about it because the Bible tells us it's gonna be. And we really should be more so happy that it's fulfillment of what the Bible says is to come. And I know that may be like a tougher conversation, but it's the reality. Like, think about that. Like we read the Bible and it tells us that these days are going to come. It tells us about Revelation. It tells us about like the church not being here and different ways things are going to go. It's going to be death. It's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to see. And we get scared of it. We run from it. We get worried about it. We're going to do what we're going to do. The Bible already tells us what we're going to do. We got to choose. But the Bible already tells us what's going to happen at least. We got to do what we're supposed to do in that. And so I thought that was real dope. And it really made me kind of really look at something. I kind of believed that and kind of felt that already. But it was something that made me really tap into it. And like, yeah, man, like, yeah, we almost got to count everything we see as joy. Because it's fulfillment of what God has said is going to be. And that's just a dope but deep thing to even really process for me personally. So I really like that about it. I really like this energy. He just, bro, like a natural, like music live in him. It's one part right before he really started preaching that had me laughing while I was there. The music, the worship team was just finishing kind of calming down on the music and everything and kind of giving him space where he could preach. And he's like, give me 20 seconds, give me 20 minutes, I'm gonna sit down. Something. He said it as just a phrase, like, give me 20 minutes, just sit down. Give me 20 minutes to sit down. And the next thing you know, he'd make a little song. Give me 20 minutes, just sit down. And everybody kind of just started bobbing to it, man. So like Ty is always like for me like dope to see. I literally had some other stuff that I needed to do that night, but it was hard for me to leave because Ty was in the building. Honestly, I really wanted to engage with what he had going on, and so yeah, that was real dope. I do want to take a second before we get into the other parts. I have to, of course, mention my good friends over here. Vibes Coffee. Come for the coffee, stay for the vibes. 622 Canal Side Street, downtown Columbia, man. They got some great coffee. The pastries are good. The service is good. The vibe is everything. I mean, everything. You got to check it out. This Saturday, I don't have the time in front of me right now, but this Saturday, they are having their 1 year anniversary. They're going to have food and entertainment and everything, live music and everything outside in the courtyard area out front. So if you can check that out, I'll definitely be posting about it throughout the week. I'm definitely going to be there, showing my love. Shout out to Eric. Eric's real cool dude. He was on one a few Sundays ago. Real good conversation, real good testimony, but a real good dude, man. His heart and his mind to me align well with God. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he moves. Real, I ain't gonna say soft spoken, but easy spoken guy, man. Real easy to get along with. So I got a lot of love and respect for him. In the short time I've known him, I got his back. I got that back. We partner. So yeah, even if we stop the partnership, I still have love for him just because he's a good dude. We do have some things in the works. I will talk about those soon, but because we just haven't got to that point where we finalize a few things, I gotta be like this. But I'm telling you, when it comes, yeah, it's gonna shift. But yeah, let's get back into this recap. So that was Thursday night. Friday night, I was doing a lot more serving. I know they had a panel. I was there early Friday. I was there honestly from like 12. I got there about 12 that morning, and was helping out serving in and out, and just moving around the church more so than I was sitting in the sanctuary. But it was real good. It was real good. I sat down for a panel. There's a guy named Benny. Benny was there. I hate to not be able to say his last name, but Benny is real dope. When he preaches, when he gets on stage, he usually has a real good word. But they were doing a panel, and it was PT and PJ, Benny and his son, and why I forget her name, Pastor Mike. Pastor Mike. Pastor Matthew Thompson. His son was on stage, and they were just talking about the fatherhood parent dynamics and how that goes, and just I forget the exact title for it. Apologies, it was a long week, but it was a real good conversation. And they were just saying one of the things that Benny said that kind of reminded me of me and my son, the parallel kind of to me and Junior's episode. I thought was real good was he was saying how um, he was saying how he had to teach his son to pray. And the way he did it was he walked around the house. He would wake him up and be like, come on, we praying. He'd get dressed, he'd go downstairs, and he told him, hey, say what I'm saying, follow behind me. And he's just walking around the house praying. And so his son is copying him. And they do this like every day. So say they start Monday, they're doing it every day. But by Friday, he wake him up, he's like, you know what we're gonna do? He's like, no, I'm gonna follow you. And now his son has to go down there and pray. And going off of what he had just been taught. And the son kind of remembered that and was like, yeah, man, from him showing me and doing, he's like, I just kind of got in that space and did what he showed me to do. I did what he was telling me to do when I put my own thing to it. But that's literally what I did. And that's how I learned to pray. And I thought that was real good because it was a period where I was doing all the praying in the house. Junior would just kind of bow his head and accept it. And it started to be me, him, and my partner Calvin. Calvin was on first season. Check out Calvin. He has a book. I'll put the link in the comments for that, but you can check it out. It's on 82&0 Live. You go to 82andolive.com/82&0fam, or you just go there and click on the link. You'll see Calvin's profile there. You can click on it. You can purchase his book. It's a real good book. Definitely check that out and leave him a review. Leave him some comments and let him know how much you enjoyed the book. But we would ride, and for me, Calvin was more in the praying space than I was. I'm used to praying for myself. Calvin is a pray for everybody person. Like if he asks you your name, you're probably in his prayers. Just for real. If you go to him and say you're dealing with something, you're gonna end up in his prayers. That's just how he works. But we would be riding, going to work, doing different things, and I might pray, or Calvin might pray that morning while we were all in the truck. And then I just kind of, after a while, I was like, okay, Junior, your turn. And at first, he was kind of nervous and not knowing what to say, but then he started really praying. And what really got me one day is he said, God, he said, I want to ask you forgiveness for sins known and unknown. And that hit me. Like 13 years old, talking about prayers known and unknown, blew my mind from a person who hadn't been really praying. And I've had conversations with him. He let me know that, he prays for his mom and everybody at night. He puts in his prayers. He prays for a lot of people. He's really moving into a spiritual place. So to see Benny and his son discuss that, I thought that was real dope, and real major for them to say out loud, to give people a means to teach their child how to pray if they haven't figured it out, on a way to kind of show them. It's like, hey, literally get them up and just show them how you pray so they can learn from that. And then after a while, they'll go on and do their own way. So I thought that was real good. With Matthew Thompson, his son was around him and grew up around him a lot with him being a prophet and everything that he is. But he kind of discussed how he went down a rougher path and had different things in different ways. And he really was out there. and it was a fight. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to be in that space for a while. And then he got sent to Ghana, I believe it was, for like 3 months. And he was telling the story how he was around a bunch of people from Ghana and how they were how they were praying. And it was a sound they would make. I think it was like, no, no, hun. And he was kind of like sliding off, like, and then they pulled him in and made him copy what they were doing. And that's how he really learned how to kind of get into tongues and all that, kind of get in that space, I guess. But it was real dope because he said he came back, and while he was there, it allowed him to get away from all the things that he had been fighting and running from. But when he came back, eventually he kind of slid back in some of those spaces. So I like that because it wasn't like oh, I got fixed and now I'm perfect. It was no, I got away from it, but the reality is like it's still around me and it's still a fight. And it's still something that I had to deal with until I really got to that space. But now, if I remember correctly, he's a preacher at a church. He preaches at a church. He has a very, very large youth ministry. Um, and he's doing his thing over there. He's grown the church a lot in that space, and so I think that's dope to hear that testimony. I think those stories sometimes are better than like God gave me everything, and I don't hurt for nothing. I don't want for nothing. I'm just perfect, because we know that's not really reality. Like maybe for somebody, right? I'm not gonna say it's impossible because God can do and treat you however He want to treat you, whenever He want to treat you, how He treats you. But I think for a lot of us, it's an ever going cycle. It's an ever going growth, and getting to a place to where we are walking with it better. I don't think there's a person on this earth that is perfect. I don't think there's a person on this earth that gets it all right. But I think it'll help people be able to better manage what they are doing if people are real about what they are going through and that they still struggle and that they still need help, but they still have people that they can trust and they can go to and speak to help them in those dark moments. That's very important. And that's pretty much what Matt Thompson's son was kind of saying. It's like, he still had his dad. He can go to certain people, he can talk to them, he can kind of, but they also were on him enough to kind of try to keep him in line until he got where he was going. And now it's at the point where his dad is like making sure that he's at every sermon and he's preaching. Despite whatever other things he has going on in his life, he's there front row all the time, supporting his son. And I think that's major too. It's like if you have a person who's going through something or goes through something, or has went through something, support is big. Support is major. It's just one of those things. It doesn't have to be like that support, but sometimes just a pat on the back, just a man, I see you, keep going, does a lot for somebody. That conversation, what I was just having, took me to a point where me and my son was having a conversation last night about, sorry, I'm segueing into this, but it popped in my mind, so I'm gonna do it. We were walking out of the store, and there was a lady in front of me, leaving out in a wheelchair. And so as she's in front of me, I look down and I just see the back of her hair. Hair looks nice. It wasn't nothing like super crazy, but you could tell she might have just recently got it done. And when I got in view of her, I just told her, hey man, your hair looks pretty good. So thank you. We just walked to the truck. And Junior's like, man, Dad, he's like, you don't see a whole lot of people just do that. He's like, some people, I don't see some people just do that. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I just do it. There ain't nothing wrong with just like helping somebody with some good energy, like passing on good energy, giving somebody the pat on the back. It could be something basic they're doing. I told them sometimes I see people's, shirts or something. It might be a shirt that just catches my attention. Might not be a shirt that I wear, but I'm like, hey man, that's a nice shirt you got on, man. I like that shirt. Just something to compliment them, to give me. And he's like, Dad, I do the same thing. He's like, I just go out sometimes and I just give somebody a compliment. I'll say something nice to somebody, just because it's like just spreading good energy. Like that's exactly what it is, Junior. I was like, we spread good energy, we spread more love, and we spread more positive reinforcement or support. I think it'll do wonders for us. And so That just made me think about that when he was saying how his dad kind of poured into him. It's like we can do that with like our kids and our family, but we can do that with strangers. We can do it for people who may not be going through something, but just give them some encouragement. Sometimes when I go and compliment somebody or say something nice to them, in response, I'll get, and you don't know how much I need to hear that. And I don't. But at the same time, I do. Because I'm a human. Sometimes I need that. Like sometimes I really do need that. Some days, man, some days it's harder than others to smile. Some days it's harder than others to get out of bed. Just being real. There's so many times now, man, I'll be walking through church or somewhere and somebody be like, 82 and 0 live. Or when you gonna let me get on the podcast, bro? I seen the podcast, or let me get a shirt and all that, man. And that just fires me up more. I've been blessed in the last month or two. I've been in a real good space. I'm not perfect, but those moments still boost me up even more to go even harder, to know that it's being seen, that the God's work is being seen. Because again, this is just obedience. I'm not necessarily trying to be like a superstar, and that's it. I'm bringing. Jessica says, I started with my daughter at a young age. She would say it to me, and I would make her tell the people. Now she does it naturally. Yeah, that's real. Like that's like, man, and I can only imagine like an adult or random person hearing it from a child, because it's a more of a genuine space. It comes with no like um with no desire to get anything out of it, with nothing on the back end of it. It's just a true, genuine thought, a genuine feeling, man. So shout out to you, Jessica. Definitely keep her in that space, man. That's love, like genuine love. And I like that. I like that. Salute. But yeah, man. But so where we at? We at Friday night. That's what I want to do. Friday night, I met a guy named Adam. Adam's super cool dude. I may tell a story, but Adam was in the lobby. I don't know if you can see this good. You can't. The Chosen. They had these cards. They were giving out for a show that's on Prime. You can go comeandsee.net/church. But it looks like a pretty good show. The funny thing about this, I saw him, was just talking to him. He gave me the card and was telling me about the movie. Cool. I leave out Friday. I go with my son, and my son sees it. I'm like, yeah, Dad, that's the movie right there I was trying to tell you about. So there's a movie about Jesus, about the Bible and everything. So one, it already caught me that my son was trying to watch a movie in that space. I love that because he's a big Marvel Avenger fan. So for him to shift his mind to that, I thought was pretty cool. And so later on, I bring him out to meet the guy and kind of tell him that he had been wanting to watch the movie. Just a little small light conversation. I like to let Junior express himself and get what he says to me, similar to what you said, Jessica, but to people as well. And so he's having a conversation with the guy, and Adam was like, "Hey man, what school you go to?" And Junior tells him, he's like, "Yeah, you don't remember me?" And he started going through this whole thing. He's like, "Yeah, man." He starts telling my son how he remembered him, because my son used to have a little hot box. And he like, yeah, he started describing the hair. I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, that's him. But it was cool to see like the whole 360 degrees of it. It's like he's talking about this movie that Adam's promoting, and he literally used to work in my son's school. My son didn't know it. So it was a cooler moment for him to know that somebody that he knew was a part of this movie in this way. And it was a cool moment for me just to kind of see them like have this, oh, we know each other. It's like a 30 something year old man and a 14-year-old child, and rightfully so out of school. But I just thought it was kind of cool to see them have that moment about this movie. So definitely check that out. Shout out to them again. It's presented by Come and See. It's called The Chosen. If you go to chosenresources.com, there's a QR code that I can't get you on here, but if you go to it, I believe that you can watch the first few seasons or whatever free. It's gonna be on Prime, but check that out. It seems like a pretty good movie. You may see 82 and 0 Live and The Chosen in some capacity soon. Just prayerfully, you may see us in some capacity. I might get to be a little background actor or something. You know, if it's me, as soon as they go to try to do something to Jesus, I'm okay. Anyhow, just saying, like, how y'all let people jump on Jesus? Different conversation. But yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know who's called me, but I can't talk right now. But yeah, so Friday night was good. Saturday took a break. Saturday I did go to Comic-Con. I enjoyed Comic-Con. Me and Junior went to Comic-Con. We have to talk about Comic-Con another one, right? Before we get into Sunday, because Sunday was powerful. Sunday was real strong. I do want to just kind of do like a more of like a what I really got from it up until the end. To me, the main thing was shift, and it was major on the shift. I felt there was a lot of shifting going on in my life. I feel like where God is leading me with this podcast, there's a lot of shifting, and I really want to discuss it with y'all. And I may just do it. I'm gonna pray in the back of my head while I'm talking to see if God allowed me to release it. And if it come out, then He released it, right? But there's a lot of shifting going on. Some major shifts for me in a lot of different ways, and I'm loving it. And the parts that normally would probably cause me to be upset, I'm counting all as joy. That's something me and Manny was talking about a lot the last few weeks, just counting all as joy. And it kind of ties into what Ty was saying was, hey, you know, these things are to come. So like, if God knows every hair on our head, right, and He knows the ending, and nothing can harm us if we're walking with Him, right? All these other different things that the Bible tells us about our relationship with God and how it covers us and protects us, and the wisdom and strength and understanding and all these things that God has, the infiniteness of everything that He has, then how can we not count it all as joy? If my car breaks down, I gotta count it as joy, because there's a good chance that when my car breaks down, it's for a reason. Maybe that's how I need to meet this stranger that's going to give me a ride, or this is how I see that in these moments, my faith can still get me where I'm going. Like whatever it is, it's in God's design. And so we have to count it all as joy. Because if we don't count it all as joy, what are we doing? If we believe in all these things, we have to count the bad spots as joy. I saw a clip this morning, I think it was, where God was saying, he was like, what? He asked him about failure and success, and he said, man, it's fraudulent. He was like, man, because like you have to fail to succeed. You have to. So that whole failure, like it's fraudulent. It's a whole fraudulent idea. It's gonna happen if you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're gonna have to fail. You're gonna slip. You're gonna go through something that comes with it. So the whole idea of a failure versus success is a fraudulent thing, because they're really one and the same. Like you can't get dressed without getting out of bed. And it's just like you can't succeed without going through something. That's part of it. That's the building phase. So as much as we might hate the building phase, it's part of it. And so that's something that this week was really making me tap into and really understand that, man, I gotta just count all this joy, the smaller things, the bigger things, the middle things, because it's counting, it's pushing me into a space of where I need to be. Jessica says, I feel like everything prophesies that this is just the beginning. Man, listen. Yes. Every time I walked in that sanctuary, it was like, yeah. It was one point in time where today he said it. He was like, God, I told you, to do this business, to start that podcast. And when he said it, I was just like, oh, okay. I had been in the sanctuary maybe like 5 minutes. I believe that was during the first service. But they've been speaking to me all week long, like all week long, and I've been just really trying my best to steward the message that I've been getting right. It's been powerful, man. It's been a lot of doors opening up for what I have going on. But yeah, with that Sunday, because I'm gonna talk. We got about 20 minutes. I'm gonna talk. Sunday, today, Michael Todd is in the building. Lines around the door. I got there about 10:30, so everybody had got in for the first service. First service went over clearly. Went over. By the time I realized that it was 1:30 and Michael Todd was just about to start preaching. But that's when I realized it. That's how powerful it was. I was there for half of the first service and the whole second service. And it didn't feel like that long, but it felt filling. It was real good. There's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people in the building. People coming from. I met a guy from DC. There was another guy from I think like Ohio somewhere. A guy from Virginia. Like people just coming in. It was a lot of first timers. There was a lot of like travelers. But it was strong in there. But Mike was talking about the shift, and he was talking about Joshua, and how like he told like Moses died, and he was like, all right, next thing, like yeah, well, Moses, but nah, Moses dead. Now move. It's a shift. Yeah, Moses was supposed to do this, he didn't do it, and now go do what you're supposed to do. Shift. We don't got time to mourn. We don't got time to look back. And that was one of the things he said is like a lot of times we want to have closure. When God ain't telling us to have closure, God is telling us to shift. Because just like that, the shift happens. There was part of me today with this podcast, with the guests backing out. I'm thinking like, man, am I going to take a night off? Am I going to like scramble? Am I going to run a rerun or what? And it was like, nah, just shift. And really, he was showing me the shift because a recap was already in my mind, but I was just going to do like a video and do like I got a bunch of highlights and clips from my glasses, my phone and everything, and I was going to do a voiceover and just put that up for content. But when I realized that he was telling me the whole time, hey, just do a recap. Yeah, I want you to do a recap and talk about things. You don't got to talk about nobody else's life this Sunday. Talk about engaged culture because that's what I want you to do. But it took me to realize that it was time to shift, to not hold back, to not think about it, not have a feeling about any of it, but just shift into the next move. It was almost like a test. It was like, man, when I give you something, like, are you going to listen? Are you going to keep going through it? You're going to shift when I tell you shift? I just gave you and the whole building a real strong message. Are you going to shift? Are you going to shift? Are you going to be ready to shift? Like you hearing this, but can you just shift? And just like that, it was like, yeah, cool. Let me do what I got to do. In my mind, I was like, man, how am I going to sit here and talk to myself by myself for like an hour? God, and I'm moving, but I'm talking to him in my head, like, all right. And all I can tell you is he's just saying, do it. And whatever came from it, I just said, okay, do it. Because what else am I going to do? But be obedient. That's my word. If you go back to the first episodes, when it was just me sitting right here, it was obedience. And I vowed then that as long as he told me to do it, every Sunday I was going to be here. And obedience, I've done it. He allowed me to have a break during first and second season. I took a little 2-week break. I came back running. In this season, he's telling me to be more bold and more tenacious and shift. And so that's what we're doing. We're shifting. But yeah, Mike was in a real good pocket, man. and I don't want to try to recap everything that he says because I feel like I may get some of it incorrectly. Honestly, I'm going to watch it again, and a few other segments. I'll probably ride and listen to them throughout this week just to really digest it. Because I'm be honest with you, it was good. It was a lot, but my mind was also running, thinking about what the message is saying to me in that moment. So it's probably something that I'll say wrong, not necessarily wrong, but I don't feel like me paraphrasing it will be the full impact of it. Uh, Testimony from Friday night too. We were talking about Mitch getting his dance back before service today. Oh, Mitch, I wasn't privy to that, but yeah, you're gonna have to kind of fill me in on that one a little bit more, just. But yeah, one moment today during the service was real strong to me. To do the altar call, and we all went down to the altar. And we just kind of he's going back and forth and he's praying. You know, you're looking up and you seeing the pastor kind of walk back and forth, and he'll point and all that. And the truth of the matter is, like, we be all the way honest. Like when we at that altar, we were looking for a word just for us. Like it is. We I think at least 90% of us minimum be hoping that the word, like he point right at us, that he grab our hand and he say something, and he could be anybody who's up there who's doing it. But we really be wanting that word to be for us. That's why we go to the altar. Because we really want a word for us. Like we've sat in the pews and stands or whatever you want to call them. When we come up that front, we really be searching for something to help us through whatever we're going through. And so I'm watching him. He's going back and forth, and he's saying stuff that kind of I feel like it's for me, and I'm receiving it. Receive. You know, I'm receiving it. But there's a young fella next to me, and he starts talking to him, and he's telling him like, man, you got, you know, he's like, you come off like you a big guy. You know, you got a good heart, but you got to shield it and stuff that happened to you and this, and he going through his thing, man. And as he's saying that, tears start flowing from buddy's eyes. But if you know me, I cry too. I cry quick. When it's something emotional and spiritual, especially like both of them real good, they gonna flow. I ain't gonna hide it from you ever. Like ever. I don't care what you feel. I'm gonna do it right there in front of you, your mama, your grandmama, whoever. I don't really care. But buddy started going through it, and I'm fighting him a little bit. And I just feel God said, man, put your hands on his shoulder. So I just put my hand on his shoulder. And then more people start putting their hands on his shoulder and they start praying for him. And it was such a powerful moment because you can see him like, big dude. Like if you saw him anywhere else, you would be like, yeah, that's a big dude. Like, big dude ready, big dude to do you. I'm talking about big dude, solid now. But in that moment, he was getting broke down. And it was just strong to me because a lot of times I feel like it's one thing to be emotional about your own, what you feel inside, but to just hear somebody putting a word over somebody and something hitting you to let you know like that's real. And I'm gonna take that back because they said that like that ain't something. It's God. Like when God letting you know and speaking to you and letting you know just how real it is. It was strong, man. So I really love to see that moment. I really feel like it's going to be impactful for the guy because he was really in the space. You can tell it like he was. I mean, center stage almost, and he was looking for a word for him, and he got it. And Jessica said, yeah, he was solid. I'm talking about real life solid big fella, man. But it was strong for me to see that moment and the vulnerability. Like I'll tell you that, I'll cry. I don't mind it. But man, when you see a man be that vulnerable, like in a room full of people, you know it's something. You know it's something that's really, really on his heart, really on the spirit, really on the soul. You know it. There's no ifs and buts about it. Yeah, it be on him. And so to me, that was a real strong moment. And I really like the ending on that, the way they did it. Just kind of praying out from there. and giving everybody a good prayer to leave out on the shift. It was some dope stuff. You know, it was a 10-year anniversary. Mike did some real dope things. I meant to bring my copy so I can show you, but they did. I thought it was dope that Michael Todd decided to buy all the PT's books that he had on hand, and just let everybody who was in the church get their copy for free. So I did get a copy. Junior got him a copy, so I'll be checking that out as well, and probably be doing some kind of review on that some kind of way. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. But I thought that was real dope. There's a lot of good guests in the building. Emmanuel Acho, ex NFL player, things on ESPN and stuff like that. But he was out there today. There's a lot of good people, man. Real dope venue. Real dope event. Real dope energy. And just a spirit-filled place. I saw a lot of fellowshipping. And, you know, I think that's real important. Because if you would have a church where nobody talks, nobody really fellowships, I don't think the Spirit of God would work the same way. I'm not sure how it worked. I can't say he wouldn't because he's God, right? He do his own thing. But I think it's more of a spirit-filled place when there's fellowship and a real, true, genuine love being passed around in that. So I really, really appreciated this whole week. I talked to Pastor Jamal a good bit in the live, and me and him laughed and joked. And it was just real good spirit from him. I think he always, when me and him see each other, there's always a real good energy. Me and Jim interacted a lot. There was some people that I haven't really met. We just had random conversations. I thought that was good. Shout out to my boy Mark. I just found out his name today, but we've been seeing each other in the lobby and just dapping each other up for some weeks now. And just like I was walking past, he was like, "Hey, bro," and I looked. I dapped him. I said, "Bro, I would have felt bad if I walked past you. I didn't know his name, but we exchanged information." Young fella, 21 years old, but it's just something about that lobby, man, and really that building when you fellowship and when you're moving around. Shout out to Mr. LT. Shout out to like Chris Bass and his whole team. Everybody, man, everybody in Kid City, everybody like in Takeoff. Like it really, my guy Tony. Like it really makes a lot of stuff go around. Miss Stet and her whole team, like Pastor Marvin and the security team. Like everybody makes that building really do what it's supposed to do, man. I promise you, man. If you watch this, if you get to this point and you hear me talking, man, if you haven't been in there, man, go, man. I know people talk about how loud it is or how it's a club in there or how we dress and all that kind of stuff, man. I promise you, man. Um, I didn't. P, I hear you. You popped up. It was a powerful week. Prophetess Barbara Calloway flipped the service. I didn't see her. I think she came in there later than I was able to stay. I did want to catch her because she always do her thing, and I always hear good things about the moments when I'm not around, and she do her thing. So yeah. I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna see if I can make this happen. My girl Sam. Let me see if I can show y'all this. I should have. Okay, excuse me. It ain't gonna work. Man. Either way, I'm gonna post a picture of it. Sam made some of the flyest jeans. She took some old jeans I had. Man, if y'all ever seen Sam, man, Sam be wearing some real wild outfits, not in a bad way. She got her own fashion sense. I really wish I could show y'all these, but I had a bunch of holes. I had these jeans like when Junior was like 6. I ain't lie to you. It's a picture of me and Junior. He in the mall like 6 years old. We in there on Christmas. I really love his jeans, but I tore them up. And I gave them to her one day, and she put all these different patches and all this, and they fly. So it's a picture somewhere I'm gonna post, so y'all can see it if y'all watching. But them jeans hard. Shout out to Sam. I had to give her props too. I was just going through people in the lobby. But before I get out of here, because it's almost time to get out of here, I know we don't want to leave. I'm gonna release some things to y'all. This last podcast. Yeah, this last podcast. Yeah, right. This is the last podcast that I'm gonna be sitting here not fully engaging and going super hard. And I'm already there, so this ain't even that podcast. But I'm just joking. I'm telling y'all what's to come. God told me to go harder. God told me to be tenacious and courageous and strong. Just like what Michael Todd was talking about today. It's all what God been telling me. It's all what God been putting on my shoulders to do. And I'm telling y'all this to tell y'all that what's coming is dope. I got a lot of people that I'm partnering with and I'm doing some stuff with. And I can't tell y'all all the details, but just know like we coming out in the world, man. We about to put together some events, some family friendly events, some Christian, some faith based heavy events. We're gonna have fun. We're not just gonna sit here and talk about our pain and our agony. We're gonna get out, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna get in the community and we're gonna help build this thing up. We're gonna help show love. We're gonna help people see just how God works through us, for us, and with us. That's what we're gonna do. It's almost like FUBU, but it ain't FUBU. It's like God boo. I don't know. But y'all gotta be there. The first thing I am working on, but don't tell everybody, is coming. Yeah, 82 and 0 Live is putting together a Christian Bowl night. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell y'all the name right now. I don't want nobody to go jack my name. But yeah, we gonna step out and we're gonna bowl. I'm trying to get everybody that love bowling, all ages, family fun. I don't care what church you go to. I want people from out, not just Forest City. I want everybody to come and we're gonna pack the bowling alley and roll. I'm already in conversation with the owner of the bowling alley, so it ain't something like I want to do. I'm thinking about doing, or maybe we can just no. Yeah, it may be an 82 and 0 Live night at a particular bowling alley somewhere around here. Somewhere, it's coming. It's coming. God willing, so y'all pray for it. But me and him already had a conversation. As long as God say it's a go, it's a go. The other thing is, I'm working on a concert. Yeah, a concert. Yeah, a concert. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're not bringing Lil Boosie. We're not bringing Pastor Troy. We're not bringing Pastor Troy. We're not bringing Future. No. But it's gonna be a Christian hip hop R&B concert. We're gonna have pick it DJs out there. We're gonna have vendors out there. We're gonna have music. The venue of where I'm having it is already dope. It's already laid out pretty cool. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a great time. It's a family-oriented event. You know, the college age, the 30 age, but I want the 40 and 50s to be able to come out there and bring the kids or the grandkids on them about type events. That's what we're aiming for. And when it goes, I was about to say if, but when it goes successfully, we'll do it every quarter. We'll do a big event every quarter, but I also want to get back into the community and doing my community cleanups. So that's something we're gonna be doing too. So stay open for that. We're gonna get out in the morning. We're gonna get some of the trash pickers, trash bags, some water, some snacks, some food, and we're gonna go out to the community. We're gonna clean it up. We're gonna give back. We can't just have fun. We can't just talk. We have to give back. We have to be action filled. Like we have to be able to shift from the Bible to the word to action. Yeah, we ain't just gonna sit still. Like we ain't gonna do that. That's not what God is showing me to do. He's telling me to go out there and be bold and really with it. So with that being said, man, if you know anybody who may want to sponsor, may want to donate, may want to partner, may want to be involved, however, whatever can open the door. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it, man. Send them my way, send me their way. I got literature and everything for them already for them to read and get an idea of what it is. I got sponsorship packages already built up. We ready to roll. I'm aiming for next month for the bowling event, and probably November for the concert. But we're gonna keep them dates kind of tight. We're gonna keep the names and we're gonna keep the people attending tight until we lock everything in. I don't want to talk out of turn out of place and just make it look bad. So but we really are pushing that. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Me and my partner Jay, and working on some other ideas as well. Just really cultivating the Christian youth space. We want to make sure that they have something to be part of. It's kind of hard these days. You got a lot of clubs and you got all this other stuff, and there's violence that's going on. But Christians still want to have fun. Like people who are believers, they still want to get out and have a good time, but they want to do it in peace. They want to do it without having to have drugs and alcohol pushed in their face, and just be able to groove and chill or hang out, laugh and joke and fellowship. So we're gonna cultivate that space as much as we can. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we own, man. So that's yeah. If you know somebody, send them my way. Tell them let me keep my ideas though. Now we can partner. Don't try to run away with it. God ain't gonna let you do nothing you ain't supposed to do with it. No way. I ain't really tripped about that, right? Counting all his joy. But that's what we're gonna be doing, man. So yeah, hit me up. Let me know if you want to be a part of it, help out. I know with the bowling thing, we may need like a person or two to kind of assist on small things. Somebody working the door, maybe get some flyers and stuff out there, promotion, street team type stuff, just to kind of get the word out. So always, anybody want to kind of help in that space, it's greatly appreciated. When we get closer to the concert, I'll definitely be put more things out there for people to actually be able to sign up for, attach to, and do whatever, man. But this is really what 82 and No Live is going to. The podcast, it was just a catalyst. It's just the foundation of everything else. The website is an access point. But what's really the thing is God's will in our hearts to go out there and do it. As soon as you say do it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm really driven for this. Of course, I got my own business. I do the woodworking thing, so balancing that. But I don't know. Maybe in the shift, he shifts me away from that. Maybe he shifts me into a team to where I can get all this stuff done, and I don't have to work as hard as I work. But I go hard, and I don't mind. I'm usually editing clips, uploading stuff, working on the website. I got the merch, of course. Make sure y'all. That's another thing. While I got you here, make sure you go to 82andnolive.com. Hit the merch link. We got t-shirts, got some hoodies and stuff on there too. Go ahead and put your order in there. All that's gonna help us be able to get this concert up and going. But I promise you, I don't want to give you all the details, but I do want to give you all the details because it's just that cool. I do have one headliner, one major act that I'm trying to get here, trying to lock him in. If we lock him in, I think it's gonna be real, real dope. But so we'll see. So prayerfully, I think that is going in the works. I've already had some conversations with his manager, so we're really just kind of setting everything up on our end. I got some dope acts from around here, real dope acts. Variety, got some ladies, got some men coming. It's gonna rock out, gonna do their thing, gonna sing, gonna rap, gonna entertain. I got a DJ that's real dope. That's gonna do his thing. He always do his thing. Shout out to him. I got my homegirl Vanyetta, who was on a couple episodes ago. She's gonna be on. One of my favorite hosts, good friend of mine. So she coming on board. Man, yeah, man. I got a couple food vendors lined up with some real fire food. So yeah, we ain't playing. We ain't playing. God ain't playing with me, so I ain't gonna play with y'all with it. With that being said, man, I gotta get out of here, man. It's 8:05. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been rocking with me all day. Y'all been sitting here and let me just talk by myself. I didn't need a guest. So I just want y'all to know that really, really makes me feel good, great, blessed. That however many people were willing to stay here and watch and listen to me and converse with me and talk with me. I'm appreciative of it. If there's anything I can do to support y'all movement, what y'all got going on, hit me up. I don't mind promoting from my social media pages, what other people got going on. I don't feel like what you got going on will step on my toes. I feel like it only just enhances and increases everything, our viewers, our reach, our impact. So send it to me. I got the calendar on the website. So, you can get you on there. And tell people about the website. Tell people about this live. tell people about the YouTube page, my social medias, because that helps me help other people. The more people know I exist, the more people get to see me when my heart opens up to help or bring somebody on cool or do another event that can help the community or entertain the community or be an asset for the community. The more people know about this, not me, about this and what God is doing with this, the more impactful it can be for all the people that God wants to allow to have access to this. If it's for me, if it was up to me, I'd let everybody have access to it, but I don't know if that's how that works. I just want everybody to be able to benefit in some kind of way, shape, or form from all the best of God, even if it comes from you, or you, or you, or you, or you, or you. That's what we're here for. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. It's always a blessing. It's always a privilege to be in this space for God and with y'all. Again, 8210live.com. Check it out. All the episodes are there. I got content outside of the interviews are there. I got some cool writing, some stuff I've been writing. My nephew Lazarus, stuff he's been writing. Some other stuff that'll be coming real soon. The merch is there. There's a testimony page. You can go in there and leave your testimony. Stuff like that, man. Utilize the website. Utilize it. It's for y'all. Utilize it. Other than that, man, peace, love, and blessings. And check the outro. I like that song.
Greetings. Most importantly, blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue.